Welcome to video number 14 in this series concerning the construction of a Lineside Hut Bowsider coach. As you can see in front of me, I've got the roof of the coach, the bare wood, and what we're going to do in this particular video now is start painting, and we'll kind of start with the primer. And this is Humbrol Matte 01 oil-based paint. And the intention is to cover the complete roof with paint. So we'll crack on with the underside first. You see there's lots of nooks and crannies, so this is going to take a while, but I'll see you again at the end of this particular bit. So we're using an 8mm brush, and we're going to start at this end and work our way along. So there we have it, the underside of the roof in primer. We'll let this thoroughly dry and then flip it over. So we're going to carry on with the top of the roof then. I have to be careful painting this, whether it's primer or the top coat, because if you think about it, on most railways where the carriages will be running, it's going to be the roof of the coach that the most people are going to see first. So this has to be finished quite well. For the primer then, I'm going to be using two brushes, a 6mm for the lamp tops and the edges of the roof itself, and then a 10mm for the general spaces in between. So without any further ado, let's crack on. Okay, that's the primer on. So we'll let that completely dry out, and we'll carry on with the top coat. So welcome back. It's now the next day. The primer is thoroughly dried out. So before continuing with the top coat on the outside, I'm just going to give it a light rubbing with some 400, and then we'll crack on. Okay, the top coat for the roof is matte dark grey, that's Humbrol 32. Almost exactly the same way as before. We're going to apply first the top coat to the lamp tops, and then we're going to apply the main. The sides of the coach actually get painted in the dark maroon, so that will come later. Okay, I don't know if you've noticed, but painting this first layer I've been going horizontally, and when I come to paint the second layer on, I'm going to be doing it the other way at 90 degrees. So hopefully we'll get a good even finish then. So welcome back everybody. It's now perhaps a day later, and off camera I've actually put a second coat on of dark grey, matte dark grey, onto the roof, and it's that's a final coat, and it looks pretty good to me. And if I just turn it over, I've also put some dark grey on the inside, or rather the underneath of the roof, the part of the roof that's outside the body of the coach. So I'm turning it back. So what I'm going to concentrate on with now is this edge where that strip of wood has been glued on, and the edge facing outwards, that needs to be in a maroon colour. So I've already made up some maroon, so we're going to crack on with that now. I've got a 4mm brush, so I'm going to try and carefully paint that edge. And I think this is going to take 2 coats as well. So that's 1 coat. We'll let that dry. It's probably going to take 2, maybe 3 coats to finish that off, and we'll do all that, and then we'll get back to you, and hopefully the roof will be ready then. So it's now a couple of days later. The roof has had time to completely dry off, and here we have it on the body. It's finished now. The red edging indeed took 2 coats. Top coat again, 2 coats. Hope you can see that. I've left the inside for the time being in the primer, and I'll paint that white sometime in the future when I get around to it. So that's that done. Let's crack on with something else. So the next thing we're going to get on with are the duckets, and the duckets are the modelling of ventilation openings above the doors. So because there's 2 doors to each compartment, and the 6th compartment, that means there's 12 duckets. And because you've got 2 different widths of door for the 1st class and the 3rd class, you've got 2 different sizes. So hopefully you can see there the different sizes. Okay, so the larger one is going to fit something like that, and the smaller one obviously like that. So off camera I'm going to be painting them cream, the same as this, and then we'll mount them onto the coach body. So we're all set up then. Just mix the epoxy and then we can crack on. Okay, we'll start with the 3rd class. We'll put a very small amount of epoxy on. We want to have it in line with the top edge of the ducket. Needs to be in line with the top edge of the rest of the cream there, and obviously in the center of the door. Something like that, and then we'll clamp it. That's okay. Crack on with the next one. Okay, so we've got them all on now, the various clamps. I'll just let that dry off and then we'll have a look. So we'll take the clamps off. So there we have the duckets fitted above the doors. So I'll crack on with the other side off camera, and I think I'll wrap this video up and I'll see you in the next one. Alright, so now we're going to crack on with the top of the roof and with the primer. Yeah? So that was my wife shouting to say that my daughter-in-law had just gone into labour, which resulted in this beautiful little fella, my second grandson.